I'm Jan Mealand and I'm a member of St Mary's Church. If you've been watching the videos daily, you'll know that different members of the congregation have been asked to share what the Christ-centred part of the Church's vision of being Christ-centred in a self-centred world means to them. So this is what it means to me at the moment. I'm sure you wouldn't disagree with me when I say 2020 has been a crazy year. Last New Year's Eve, the words COVID-19 and coronavirus meant very little to me. I may have heard them, but I have no inkling of an idea what those words would mean for the year ahead. But here we are, approaching Christmas in a very different world, and I think around us there's a feeling that celebrating Christmas and COVID are incompatible, that the two C's of Christmas and Corona just don't belong together. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that the way we celebrate Christmas this year will be different, and sadly for some in our church that'll mean a first Christmas without a wife or husband, a father or mother or friend. For me, not being in St Mary's with my church family on Christmas morning and not having 4 generations of the Smith family joining us for Christmas dinner will be a real cause of sadness. But I really need to resist the thought that a pandemic and Christmas aren't compatible. In fact, they're the best combination there could be. It is exactly now that we need that baby born in Bethlehem. Exactly now when we need the reminder that God sent his son, not in spite of the world being broken, but because it is broken. Other years maybe we can mask that brokenness with some tinsel and a lot of food, and we can placate ourselves with the warm fuzzy feeling induced by eating too much chocolate or carrying on family traditions. But this year we can't. This year we're celebrating Christmas at a time when we can't pretend that the world and us are anything other than in a mess and in need of help. At Christmas, God is saying to me, Jan, I know you and the world are broken. He says to me, Jan, I know your friends are facing a Christmas whilst grieving a loved one. He says to me, Jan, I know there are those battling an illness. He says to me, Jan, I know some are alone after a relationship breakdown. He says to me, Jan, I know others are overwhelmed with worry about unemployment or financial difficulties. He says to me, Jan, I know all these things and I've sorted it. My remedy for this brokenness is Jesus. His name is Emmanuel, which means I am with you. It's me coming into this world as a baby you're about to remember. So for me at the moment, being Christ-centred means trusting that this baby, whose birth we're celebrating, is the answer to all that is wrong with me and this world, and acknowledging that the very best thing I can do during a global pandemic is to be so thankful that there is Christmas and share the good news that that is. To finish, I'm going to read part of the Christmas story from Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 1 and verse 18. This is how the birth of Jesus came about. His mother Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph, but before they came together she was found to be with child through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was a righteous man and did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in mind to divorce her quietly. But after he considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will be with child and will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. Happy Christmas, everyone.